Hi guys, welcome to this Hodder Education webinar on ways to stay fit and healthy whilst at home. My name's Ross Howitt. I'm going to take you through one or two of our ideas this morning and to try in this unprecedented time to give you some inspiration, some thoughts and some ideas of things that you can do whilst you are at home. First and foremost, we need to be serious enough to get across that we all must follow the government advice. Now, the BBC do a particularly good article on this, which explains exactly what we should and what we should not be doing whilst at home. But part of today is in line with the World Health Organization, as is shown on there as WHO. And the WHO, the World Health Organization, who, let's be honest, are very busy just now, would see our overall health and well-being as being three major things. Physical health and well-being. In other words, being able to keep our bodies moving, keep our body system working, efficiently. Mental health and well-being. So that's really what's going on in our heads in terms of how we feel about the day, how confident we feel, how our self-esteem is, and how we feel about ourselves, as well as our social health and well-being. And perhaps of the three, our social health and well-being is the one which is being taxed the most just now, finding it harder to socially interact. But there are many, many ways that we can use to socially interact and keep feeling overall healthy. We have to remember, obviously, to follow the rules and the guidance in relation to social distancing. These may be subject to change in the coming days and weeks, so we'll need to keep up to date with the likes of the BBC website to see what we can and can't do. However, as we move through this session, what we're going to look at, guys, it's not forced. We're not trying to force you to do anything. All we're purely trying to do is to inspire and give you some ideas. It's an interesting time for us all. It's a time where you can challenge yourself. You can set yourself a challenge. You can set yourself a goal or a vision to achieve. Now that might be something which is physical. Equally, it might be something which is mental or social, or ideally a mixture of all three. But what we do have is most of us have the time, the opportunity, and the potential within our household environment to do what we would like to do. Now, you could be, for example, we've got in brackets there about learning to play the piano or learning to do something new on the piano or a musical instrument or something at home that you've been planning on doing, like tidying your bedroom or helping out with mum, dad, or whoever looks after you at home. But what we do want to get across in this is we do think it's very important, first and foremost, that you believe in yourself and you believe in the opportunities that you have during this unprecedented time to get things done. Now look, we have got ideas in this presentation, but it is not an exhaustive list. There are so many things and so much going on online that you can look at. We just wanted to try and put an overview of what we've seen in the last week or so as being particularly good, inspiring ideas that perhaps you might decide to take up. Guys, remember there are many others, and as it says in the title there, none of this is forced. We're not making you do anything, we're giving you some ideas. If you take the analogy of an Olympic athlete sets themselves a goal, sets themselves a vision to achieve. Now that may be a gold medal, it may simply be a personal best, it may be trying to actually make sure that they do themselves justice when they reach those Olympics. And what they quite often do is they quite often pin it up. They quite often pin up that vision or goal, sometimes on a fridge, sometimes on a mirror in the bathroom, sometimes just simply in their bedroom. But that might be something as simple as pinning up the idea of, do you know what, I'm going to learn how to cook a more healthy meal, or I'm going to learn how to cook a particular meal that mum, dad, or whoever looks after us at home has been trying to get us to do for a while. But a lot of today's session is going to focus predominantly on what we can do physically around the house. And in doing these things physically, we strongly believe that it can enhance your mental capabilities and your social capabilities as well. Now we do bear into account, look, we all live in a different environment. Some of us will live in flats and apartments. Some of us will have huge gardens. Some of us will have small gardens. Some of us will have paved gardens. Some of us will have a beautifully manicured lawn. Some of us will have a trampoline in the garden. Others will have a football goal. The simple fact is, you need to take this into account, that this is flexible. What we're going to go through today is flexible. You have to be creative within this, and you'll notice the words at the bottom there about being creative. Get your mental capacity working. Think about, have you got internet capability? If not, has somebody near you got internet capability that you could potentially use whilst socially distancing? How many TVs are there in the house, and what equipment do you have available to you? And on that, one of the things that goes through today, you do not need to be purchasing equipment for what we're going to go through today. We're going to give you ideas which allows you to make the most of what you have in your own household. Don't worry too much on your space. Some of us will have lots of space, some of us won't have lots of space. We just need a space within the household environment. So get creative in terms of looking at what we're going to go through today in relation to what you have in your personal lives. So we're going to start off first and foremost. Sport England. Sport England are predominantly to do with participation. They want us to get up and go. They want us to participate in things. Now what they're doing is they are combining with the YST, which is the Youth Sports Trust. Now the Youth Sports Trust, interestingly enough, try to get students competing and taking part in sport in schools, which is obviously difficult just now because we're all off school. So the two bodies have combined together. And as it says there, fantastic campaign just about to start, only just in its infancy just now getting going. But they've got more than 400 trusted and experienced leaders in school sport and physical activity, and they're getting them to be redeployed to provide online activities and digital content for children during school closures. And they're using this, many of you will use Twitter, they're using the hashtag stay home, stay active. And I think the simple thing is, get yourselves on Twitter, have a look for the stay home, stay active hashtag, and there will be lots and lots and lots of ideas for you to get involved in. And again, a big part of this is you getting involved, you making sure that you get up in the morning, you have some kind of focus to your day and have a go at some things. Otherwise, boredom is going to set in. So have a look at the Sport England YST thing. There's a link there for you to look at, and that will then take you through to something called the School Games website. And the School Games website is where they're going to house lots of their ideas alongside the Stay Home, Stay Active Twitter feed. Next one, it would be very difficult for many of you to have avoided the kind of massive media machine that's gone around Joe Wicks and his 9 o'clock campaign to take part in Exercise with Joe. And we have gave you the link there. Joe Wicks, just so you're aware, in case it's passed you by, has a YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel, generally speaking, does involve a cost, and it does involve you paying normally. Joe Wicks on this occasion has decided to do this for free at 9 o'clock in the morning. But I think one of the big things, look, Joe Wicks might not be your cup of tea. You may well not to be following the norm of the near on 1 million people who are doing this every morning at 9 o'clock. There are lots of different ones out there as well. And it could be, for example, your local fitness instructor, your local Zumba instructor, your local boxercise instructor, who may well be doing something online as well. And we're seeing the advent of lots of these people who are more independent than Joe Wicks, who's more mainstream, putting things on Facebook, for example, and sometimes using apps. For example, Zoom is one which has been used a lot. And Zoom has been used a lot for people to try to link in to these fitness instructors in the local community who are putting on classes, often for completely free. So join in with Joe or join in with somebody else. Now, equally speaking, if for once, those of you listening in who are teenagers, you may well be thinking, well, my life predominantly revolves around my phone, my mobile phone. And the simple fact is, yes, you do need to limit how much you're on your mobile phone, but also embrace its use. It can be useful in this present time in particular. And there are some free apps out there. They're nice because the free apps can be picked up and put down at a time in the day to suit you. So for example, this particular one, this free app is called 7. So when you type in 7-minute workout into the App Store, as a search, you'll have the opportunity to use this. And these literally are 7-minute workouts. You can do 14, you can do 21, you can do 28. Obviously, you can go up in multiples of 7 as how long you would like to exercise for. But you can also choose between 200 possible workouts. Guys, we're completely realistic about this. The first thing is, some of you may well not be feeling particularly fit just now and just want to do something light and easy to get started, to feel like you're moving your body. Now on that, when we go back to that idea of physical, mental and social, it has been proven, guys, through research that physical activity releases hormones, endorphins they're called, a particular one called serotonin, that makes you feel happier, happy hormones. So even just taking 7 minutes a day to have a go at one of these kind of things can actually make you feel happier. And there are more. Okay folks, another particular app that you could use at home is something called the 30-day fitness app. Again, if you were to search that in the App Store, the 30-day fitness app's a little bit more structured than the 7 app that we looked at before, in that you set yourself a 30-day fitness workout and training challenge. And you'll look at the image there, which is on the screen. You can put things in like you can work on abs, you can work on your butt, you can work on general fitness. And the great thing with this particular app is it does not require huge amounts of equipment. Equally speaking, if you do have some equipment, so for example, the dumbbells that you have in your wardrobe you were given several Christmases ago that have never came out, then obviously what we're looking at, you could bring them out and you could use them within this particular type of app. Now guys, there's loads of them. Obviously you and yourself, you could go in the App Store and type in something specifically and then put the filter on for a free app. But the simple fact is, if you have a little look, some of these here are particularly good ones that we're pointing out, we feel that you could use. So Fitness Coach, which is 28 days to get fit, a fairly standard month. You're giving yourself a month to get fit. And again, you can tailor-made that to the needs of yourself. Now, for those of you that want to do something a bit more specific, like, for example, you maybe want to increase muscle bulk, for example, you want to have more definition in your muscle. Muscle Booster Fitness at Home, and the way we've typed these out is exactly how you should type them into the App Store. This is a good app for boosting the muscle size on your body. Equally, if you want something a bit more tailor-made because you're female, Workout for Women, the fitness app, a very, very good app which has been designed and specifically tailor-made for females. If you're looking for something with a bit more of a brand name behind it, the Nike Training Club is huge, absolutely huge, massive in the States as well. And you can get yourself involved in the Nike Training Club and you can decide what points in the day and what days suit you to get involved in that training club. The next one, Fit with 2 eyes in the middle, workout and fitness plans, another good particular one that you could use. And if any of you are looking for something with a little bit more relaxation to it, and it may be something that a lot of you have poo-pooed in the past has not been for you, but actually it might be good to give it a go for your mental state. There's a yoga app called Yoga Go Train at Home. And again, it is based at home. That's the whole point in this app. Love the next one, home workout, no equipment. And that is what you would type into the App Store. This idea of you can work out at home using an app as a stimulus where no equipment at all is required. And the next one, Swerkit Fitness and Workout app, is just another version. Again, you can have a look at these and look at the descriptions in your own time. And the last one's a really clever app. It's very, very simple. It's called an interval timer. And it's to do with HIIT workouts. Those of you that have heard of HIIT workouts would realize what you do is you work, you do some exercise, and then you rest, and then you work, and then you rest. And all this does is it allows you to set the time that you work and the time that you rest. So a lot of people would start with 30 seconds work with a minute's rest. And this timer helps you to set that and gives you little alarms and little bleeps as to when you should move on either to the work or to the rest. Okay, we are giving you, there's a few here, and I certainly don't want to monopolise this guy called Adrian James, but Adrian James is a guy on the App Store, you can see there, who does very, very specific apps that you can follow if you have very specific aims. So for example, those of you out there who are thinking, oh, I'd really like to develop a bit of a six-pack, there is an app there called the Six Pack Abs app by Adrian James, and there's the cost. These are all 99p to purchase, and certainly, as I said to you before, don't feel free that you need to purchase anything on the App Store. I think the important thing is there's loads on there which is free and loads which are particularly good, but there are some paid ones you could have a look at as well. Okay, it's definitely a time to try and be inspired. We're looking for inspiration. It's a tough time for everybody. And I think who better than being inspired by Olympians? And this particular chap here, Akwasi Frimpong, has got something here on the BBC website. Very interesting to see how he trains from home. And he uses things like his front step, he uses things inside his house, and I would strongly suggest, if you can, have a look at that. It's only a short clip, it doesn't last a long amount of time, but it's just really interesting to see how even somebody who was training for the Olympics is managing to train at home. So share and have a look at his workout for keeping fit around the home as you're self-isolating. Okay, love the next one. Absolutely love the next one. Even if you're not into volleyball, I would suggest you have a good look at this, purely due to the fact it's just a great challenge to try. The volleyball challenge, it's available on Twitter via the video, which you can see the link for there. This volleyball challenge involves a young lady doing something with a volleyball, and she ends up sitting down and standing up and trying to do various tasks. Now guys, this could be done with a football, it could be done with a rugby ball, it doesn't have to be done with a volleyball, it could be done with a netball, but it's a great challenge to challenge yourself, have a go at, perhaps then share it on social media with your friends and see if they can do it. Equally speaking, if you are inspired by the likes of Barcelona, by the likes of Messi and people like that, who we're going to look at in a minute in the next slide, but there is a thing here about how you could train with Barcelona, train in your home with Barcelona. It doesn't involve an incredible level of football. It involves a bit of fun, it involves a bit of uniqueness around the house, and it involves trying to watch somebody on your TV that you could try to copy. And I think when you have a look at this, some of these are a little bit more kind of specific to sports. You know, the first one, netball skills to do at home. And again, this does not just have to be for netball. Anyone that plays any ball games at all can have a go at this. And these are skills to have a go at. See if you can master the skills and give yourself that challenge. And there's a longer netball challenge available on YouTube, which is a 30-day netball challenge. For those of you that are particularly involved in hand-eye coordination skills within your sport, for example, you may be a basketball player, you may be a netball player, you may be a volleyball player, there is a 30-day netball challenge that you can have a go at home. And I personally know many people that are undertaking that, and it's given them that little bit of structure to have a go at that structured challenge. Equally, have a look and see what famous football players are doing and their stay at home challenge. So what we're going to do, Hodder are going to show you an element of this clip just now. So if the guys at Hodder could load up that clip, that YouTube clip, that would be fantastic. And what you can do with this particular YouTube challenge is you can have a go at the challenge. You can see the kind of things that these guys are doing. Okay guys, hopefully you enjoyed that clip, and certainly there's some things there. It's nice to see different players doing different things with that toilet roll challenge, which many people can see. Now equally, if you're not a footballer, give it a go, have a go, start, see if you can kick the toilet roll up and put it behind your neck and trap it and things like that, because the whole idea is we've got to just try and have a little bit of fun in this and try and challenge ourselves and try different things. Team GB are going to be in for an interesting time. Team GB, very unfortunately, won't have an Olympics to look forward to, and I've been training very, very hard for that Olympics in Tokyo this summer. Max Whitlock, who's the Team GB Olympian gymnast, has got a couple of great things online that people can have a go at. If you take the idea of then basically working out from home. He's got many workouts from home that he's put online, and one of which the link is there. But he also has a slightly more structured version of 6 exercises which are 30 seconds each. Again, he goes down the route of this 30 seconds of work with a period of rest afterwards. Goes back again, no one's forcing you to do this. No one's expecting you to suddenly turn into the biggest fitness freak in the world who's doing a huge amount of exercise. You're much better doing a little bit of exercise than none at all. And certainly the government and everybody would like you to get your body moving, because again, it goes back to that fact, it can make you feel better. And then if you share some of these ideas with your friends online, either through social media, the likes of WhatsApp or whatever it is you use, you are getting some social interaction as well and challenging each other. I think there's a bit of an amusing one here. If you don't know Adebayo Akinfenwa, he's a footballer. He's a footballer who's slightly larger than life, shall we say, more than your stereotypical footballer. He is a big, muscly man, and he goes with the nickname of the Beast, as he's called, when he plays football. And he has done his own version at home. And his own version is genuinely a nice guy at home who is a footballer who's trying to do a workout, the same as anybody else, trying to do a workout in a way where he's making use of his own home, not allowed to go to training. So we're trying to get this idea of try to use your house, try to use your space. And one of the things you can do is you could set yourself up a training circuit around the house. Now again, that training circuit, that simply means that you set up some kind of exercise station, you then have a rest, and you move on to another exercise station. And what you can do is you can make it easier or harder to suit you. A classic way of starting would be the likes of 30 seconds of work at a station, followed by 30 seconds of recovery. And a classic there would be 8 stations around the house, 8 different exercises, and sometimes people will do those 8 exercises more than once. So if you call that one set of 8 exercises, you can give yourself 2 to 3 minutes rest between each set of 8 exercises. And when you look at these, are just some ideas for you, like the idea of using your own house. Step ups on the stairs. If you've got stairs in your house, you just step up and down onto the first step, possibly even onto the second step as well. And it might be, some of you may well still have a Wii Fit board. If you remember the white Wii Fit board, if you've still got a Wii Fit board lying around your house, not only could you actually put the Wii Fit on and use the Wii Fit Sports app, where there's some great workouts in there as well, but you could just use the board for your step ups. Standing up and sitting down, simply onto a chair, possibly even onto the toilet if that's what you want to do. But that idea of working your leg muscles standing up and sitting down. Now let me explain. Tricep dips on the end of your bed. It doesn't have to be the end of your bed, but your whole body's off the bed, and the only part holding on to the end of the bed is your hands. And you slowly bend, you flex your arms at your elbow and then push back up again. It works the back of the top of your arms, your triceps. Now this idea of lunges, lunging down, now that could be as simple as lunging to one side to touch a pan that you've put on the floor, and lunging to the other side to touch a pan you've put on the other side on the floor. You could put an object down. It could be lounging to pat your dog. It could be anything where you're lounging down, and again you're working your leg muscles. This is an interesting one. Sit-ups. Now sit-ups to say hello. What you do with this one is you face a photograph of somebody in your house, and every time you sit up you look at the photograph and you say hello to that person. Now, you can use weight training as well, but you could use things like bags of sugar. It doesn't have to be as simple as doing something like lifting actual formal weights. It could be lifting bags of sugar, okay? And equally speaking, if you were to do step and lunge the whole length of the room, stepping and lunging the whole length of a room or the whole length of your garden, and equally you could use that end of your bed again. You can do press-ups off of the end of your bed. If you do have a skipping rope lying around, don't be scared to get the skipping rope out, step into the garden, step onto the drive, even do it in your bedroom as long as the ceilings are high enough. But skipping is a great aerobic activity to keep the blood flowing. Now, sit-up ideas, step-up ideas, press-up ideas, there's lots of different ideas that you can use. Press-ups, guys, can be done on your knees. You do not have to do press-ups as like a normal formal press-up. Press-ups on knees are much easier to do, but there's lots of ideas in there for you to try. You can try squats, you could try a plank, which is holding a press-up position, again can be done on your knees. You can read them yourself there, but it can be using things like if you have got a trampoline in the garden, feel free to jump up and down onto the trampoline. If you've got a gym bar, lots of people have them in their garden, pulling yourself up and down on the gym bar. Star jumps, bending and jumps, etc. Lots and lots of ideas you can do without the need for any equipment as such. A little bit sillier now, so you go on to things which are a little bit more practical, day-to-day things. Guys, to get the body moving, and this can be done socially within the family as well. And it could simply be to try to dance for the whole of your favorite song. If you've got a CD player, if you've got an Amazon Alexa or a Google Chrome or whatever it is you've got at home, you could be saying, Alexa, could you play my favorite song? Alexa, could you play whatever? Or it could be, if you're feeling particularly energetic, that you try to dance for the whole of the playlist. And that would be particularly impressive. If you've got set playlists, again, for some of you, it won't be working out doing circuits or using the house like we've mentioned. For some of you, you'd probably prefer to dance. And I think, guys, certainly do not want to get across just now that you should not use your phone. You can, of course, use your phone, and you can use your phone to socialize, to make sure that your social health and well-being is okay. Here's some ideas for you to do it that way. Have you ever thought about making a fitness video for your friends to try? I'm sure it'll be a high point of amusement for you to watch your friends try the fitness video that you've made. You can do things like take turns at being the fitness host, and there's a couple of apps there I've put down which are predominantly being used around the country. They've been used a lot around the country just now. I've got this idea of House Party and equally Zoom, which allows you to share and show each other what each other are doing. You have also got the idea of a TikTok dance battle. Those of you that have got TikTok as an app, have a dance battle. Take turns at being the judge to judge who does the dance the best. That'd be nice to your friends. And it could be something as simple as setting your friends a sporting challenge to complete. So the sporting challenge could be that you set the sporting challenge, you set that on social media, and you watch your friends having a go. Lots of people are doing that with the likes of netball posts, basketball posts, etc. in their garden, even football posts as well. So with the likes of this one, I think the interesting one with this is you can use your phone and socialize. And here's one, if you've not seen it already. Why not try to copy and perfect the Shanice and Luke T dance from Love Island? It is done through TikTok, but it's also available through YouTube, and you can see lots of people on YouTube having a go at that particular dance and having a go at trying to do that particular dance. And it's really, really funny clip to see how people have managed to perfect that. Can you perfect it? Can your friends perfect it?
When the sun's out, see the gal them too. I wake up to another gal them tune. I ride out on my Yamaha R6. When I reach in the dance, bring the gal them true. Gal them know, say they wanna wind up. I get behind her and she get wild up. She back it up good, but I try my luck. Winding up, gal is the vibe I love. When the sun's out, see the gal them too. I wake up to another gal them tune. I ride out on my Yamaha R6. When I reach in the dance, bring the gal them true. Gal them know, say they wanna wind up. I get behind her and she get wild up. She back it up good, but I try my luck. Winding up, gal is the vibe. when the sun's out, see the gal them too. I wake up to another gal them tune. I ride out on my Yamaha R6 when I reach in the dance, bring the gal them true. Gal them know, say they wanna wind up. I get behind her and she get wild up. She back it up good, but I try my luck. Winding up, gal is.
Equally speaking, if you wanted to try, have a go at the daily plank challenge. You can see the young lady in the picture there holding a plank. Video yourself. How long can you hold that plank for? And trust me, very, very difficult to hold that for longer than 30 seconds. Can you see how long you could hold that plank for before you then move into going back into school? Can you get that length of time up? Okay, don't be scared to be a bit silly, a bit fun, a bit bonkers, and try some things out. Equally, get the family involved in the house to try and keep everybody as sane as we possibly can during this period. How about making an obstacle course in your house? And that obstacle course equally could be in your garden. What's lying around? What could you use? What could you jump over? What could you run round? What could you try to touch and then go to the other end and touch something else? What could you throw? And if you make an obstacle course, again, you're making your body move. And by making your body move, you're making your mental state better as well. Share that with people online. Share that with your friends and see if they can come up with something which is just as good or possibly even better. Guys, when you're thinking of things fun and silly and a little bit daft and having a bit of fun, feel free to get the water pistols out. Hopefully the weather will continue to improve. You know, running around the garden with water pistols, absolutely fine to get you moving. And I've seen this, there's a household near to me that are doing this. They're going to hold their own family sports day. They're going to do an egg and spoon race. They're going to do a sack race and so on. A very stereotypical British family sports day. If you do have a trampoline in the garden, why not give it a damn good clean? Give it a good clean, spring clean if you like, because then you can actually go and then physically use it. It might be something you've not been on in a while. Get out, get some fresh air, and try and maybe perfect some of the moves that you used to be able to do that you've not done in a while. And this one, I particularly like this one. Those of you that are glued to YouTube a lot, feel free to get onto YouTube and try to recreate your favorite goal. So if you do have a goal which you've seen on YouTube, on the TV, which is easy to access on YouTube, can you try to recreate it in your garden if you have a garden with a football goal? Have a go at recreating that and try and take a video of it and share it with your friends. Guys, it's an incredibly interesting time. I think the important message in this is hang in there. You know, things will get better. But all we're doing just now is we're just talking about a little bit of exercise, not sitting down all day. Again, going back to that original point, we are not trying to force you to do anything too hard. We'd just like to give you some ideas about how you can get your body moving. And this idea of healthy body, healthy mind, and vice versa. Guys, if you put your mind to something, it helps your body to feel better as well. If any of you are particularly struggling, any of you are finding it particularly an anxious point in time and it's difficult and it is getting to you, there are a couple of links there of a couple of particularly good websites to give you some advice to get through this difficult time. On that, guys, look, it's, you know, talk via the phone, talk over the hedge, talk to people as much as you possibly can. But obviously we've got to remember social distancing. Try and get in a good sleep pattern and eat well, but put some exercise into your day. It's not easy, but it is doable. And I'm going to leave you with this particular analogy, which was given to us by a NASA astronaut who spent huge amounts of time on his own in space. And he said to keep himself going, he needed to stay connected. He needed to know that people could speak to him and that he could speak to other people. And he got stuck in and got some ideas going, some challenges for himself. He got stuck into helping out round where he was. And you can get stuck into helping out in relation to your house. Try to schedule activities. Actually write down a schedule of what you're going to do that day and stick to it. And it is going to be a tough time for us all, so be understanding and be positive of the people around you and be grateful for what